I hit 40 and I was just nearly single out of the 10-year relationship. And I'd just moved into this apartment by myself, and so I was on my own for the first time in 10 years. And I just thought, well, you know, who am I? I was just lost, and I really didn't have any direction all of a sudden. Not one to sit around moping or doing anything, you know, just resting on my laurels or anything like that. I like to do something about it. One thing that I love doing is travelling and high-altitude trekking, and one goal I'd set myself to do by the time I was 40, and I was only just 40, was to climb Mount Aconcagua in South America. Suddenly I had something to work with. This is a great idea, let's work with this. So I looked it all up, but unfortunately I knew my base fitness wasn't up to scratch. So I thought, well, I'm going to have to let that go, but I still really wanted to do something like that because it gave me that purpose, it gave me that golden direction. So I decided on Mount Kilimanjaro instead. I headed off down to the local gym to get an assessment, and to my absolute horror, standing at 161 centimetres, I was 76 kilos, and my body fat was 33% as well. I was squarely in the obese category. I couldn't believe I was in this state. So pretty much from the next day, I hit the gym 5 days a week and load up the backpack with 10 kilograms and get onto the stepper. And then I'd do a 20-minute spin interval, and then I'd do a 20-minute row. And this was every day, 5 days a week. I also cut out bread, rice, pasta and Play-Dohs, gone. And although I didn't really notice much change in the first 6 to 8 weeks, all of a sudden, it was like my body went, woo, yes. 6 kilos just disappeared in 3 weeks. And yeah, it was just a massive incentive to keep going. So by the time I successfully climbed Mount Kilimanjaro in September 2010, I'd lost a total of 22 kilos, and I was down from 33% body fat to 17.5% body fat. I was absolutely stoked. I felt so amazing. Having been so totally focused on Mount Kilimanjaro, really rather dropped the ball in all other aspects of my life. And it was probably about November 2009 that things really began to unravel for me. I found a lump in my armpit, near my breast. The sheer enormity of what that represented was just too much for my comprehension. I couldn't comprehend it. And at that point, I think I just disconnected. And when the doctor came, there was just tears. I couldn't speak. I went in about a lump. I came out diagnosed with depression. With all of this going on, my training started to slide, and I knew I'd just worked too hard for too long to let it go backwards now. I knew I needed help with motivation. I just couldn't keep going on my own, and that's when I called Aidan.
When I first met Sarah, she was depressed, and she wasn't very motivated at all. She was quite a strong person, very mentally strong, and if she had a goal, she was good, but she was stagnant. She's had a lot of different goals since I've been training her. Originally, it was just to tone up and lose weight, so we did a lot of high-intensity training, and her body just shredded up, so it was amazing the results she got, and I think she was quite surprised, having fun with the session. She was loving it.
As we started getting these results, and I was starting to get comments from trainers in the gym saying, you know, are you working towards a competition? Then it became, what competition are you working towards? I'm like, well, this was a huge compliment. And right there and then, the very next day, you know, I was going to enter the Oxygen Cover Girl competition.
So then, with only about 8 weeks' notice, she told me she wanted to compete. So we then started training for bodybuilding.
And yeah, and I'm going to be stepping up on the stage at Moonee Valley Racecourse, competing in the IMBA Victorian titles. It's been just quite an incredible journey, it really has. I've literally, in the last 2 years, gone from the top of the world to the depths of depression, and from fat to, well, just fantastic. You know, I've already lined up my next trip, which is climbing volcanoes in Ecuador in February, and then we're both going to enter the Tough Bloke Challenge next year, and then, of course, there's still Mount Aconcagua. It's just been an incredible journey. So yes, I'm absolutely thrilled at my achievement.